Good morning everyone and welcome to the class. We are doing the chapter Women, Caste and Reforms, and under this chapter we have completed our discussion about women. And now we are discussing about the caste inequalities and what efforts were done in order to remove these inequalities. And in this regard we have discussed about the efforts done by the Brahmins, the upper caste Hindus, and then now we are discussing about Jyotirao Phule. Jyotirao Phule, as we have discussed in the previous class, he was one of the most vocal among the low caste leaders, and he developed his own ideas about the injustices of caste society, and he attacked the Brahmins' claim that they were superior to others. Why? Because they were Aryans. So his attack was on this claim of Brahmins that they were Aryans, and because of this they were superior to the other so-called lower caste of the society. Phule was of the opinion that Aryans were foreigners. He was not only, it is his opinion, there are some evidences but they are not completely proved. So he say, according to Phule, Aryans came out from outside into the subcontinent, and they defeated and subjugated the true children of the country. And and after that they started saying that they started proving that Aryans are superior to the indigenous people of the subcontinent. So now he is saying that these upper caste had no right to their land. The land belongs to the so-called lower caste of the society because they are the original people of the society. So the upper caste had no right to their land and power, and the land actually belonged to the so-called lower caste of the society. Okay, and Phule was also he also said that before this Aryan came to India, before that there was existed a golden age, and a golden age where warrior peasants tilled the land. There was no such upper caste lower caste concept in the society, है ना? And he also proposed that Sudras should unite, है ना? Sudras and अति Sudras. Sudras में भी जैसे जो जिनको अति शूद्रा माना जाता है, लोअर कास्ट में भी they are considered to be at the bottom of this Varna system, Ati Sudras. So he is of the opinion that both of them, Sudras, the caste which do different types of labors, and the Ati Sudras, who are considered to be untouchables, they should unite to challenge the caste discrimination. And he also founded an association named Satya Sodhak Samaj. Satya Sodhak Samaj. So what is Satya? Satya is truth, है ना? And शोध, शोध का क्या मतलब होता है? रिसर्च. तो शोधक, ट्रुथ को रिसर्च करने वाला. ट्रुथ क्या है? The Aryans are outside and the land belongs to the original people. They are the so-called lower caste of the society. So truth की जो रिसर्च करने वाली सोसाइटी थी वो सोसाइटी को उन्होंने एस्टैब्लिश किया. एंड ही ऑल्सो रोट a book named Ghulamgiri in 1873, which is very important for you. Ghulamgiri. So this book was written in 1873. This book, in this book, he again claimed that the land belonged to the original people of the country, that they are the lower caste of the society, so-called lower caste. The book was written down in 1873, and we find that this was the time when America was also going on from this period of civil war. Okay. So he associated his book, the condition which was prevailing in India with the condition which was in America. Okay, so we see that in America also the blacks are the original people, and the whites came from outside. They started ruling these people, and what happened, that there started a struggle between the original people of America and the outsiders, which is known as civil war. So he established a link between the condition of the lower caste in India and black slaves in America. So okay, in this way, he associated his book with the condition which was prevailing in America at that time. So Phule argued that all forms of inequality should not be existed in the society. He was very much concerned about the precarious condition of upper caste women, the miseries of the laborer, the humiliation of the lower caste people, and he became associated with other leaders of the lower caste like B.R. Ambedkar, E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar, and thus this demand started to become very strong that there should not be any kind of caste inequality in the country. And in this regard, we must not forget the name of B.R. Ambedkar. Okay, so B.R. Ambedkar, as you have studied earlier also in previous classes also about B.R. Ambedkar in class 6, then in class 7. So he was born in a Mahar family of Mahar community, which is considered as untouchable in Maharashtra, and he experienced a very we can say bad form of caste inequalities in his everyday life. In schools, as you have studied earlier also, he was forced to sit outside in the class. He was forced to sit on the ground. He was not allowed to drink water from the taps which was used by the upper caste children, but he had a superb mind. He was such an intelligent person that he got a fellowship to go to US for higher studies, and when he came back to India in 1919, B.R. Ambedkar came back to India in 1919, and then he wrote so many items about what situation was existing in society and why the situation was not acceptable to him. And we see that in 1927 he started a temple entry movement, because we all know that these people of lower caste, they were not allowed to enter the temple. So he started a temple entry movement. So in this movement, his Mahar caste followers participated, and they entered the temple. They used water from the temple tank, and all these were completely against the tradition of the society, completely against the prevailing situations, because the Mahars were not allowed to enter the temple. They were not allowed to use the water from the temple tank, but they did everything in the leadership of Ambedkar. And there was 3 such movement between 1927 to 1935. ठीक है, 1927 से 1935 के बीच में ऐसे 3 movements होते हैं. So 3 movements. टेम्पल एंट्री मूवमेंट ही था ये, ठीक है. और इनका एम यही था कि सोसाइटी में जो कास्ट प्रेजुडिसेस एग्जिस्ट कर रही है, बिकॉज ऑफ दीज कास्ट prejudices, caste inequalities were existing, ill treatment of the Dalits were existing, these all should be removed. And now we see that there were another important name in this context, and the name is E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar. Okay. E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar. He was also known as Periyar. He was a leader from Kerala, and he came from a middle class family, and we find that in his earlier period of life he studied Sanskrit scriptures also, and later he became a member of Congress also, so everything was normal in his life. But when he joined Congress, what he found that in the Congress party itself, this caste prejudices were existing. As I told you earlier also, Congress was completely dominated by the upper caste Brahmins. So now at one of the feasts, what he found that there was the sitting arrangement which was there in the feast, which was organized by the Congress. They followed caste distinction. The lower caste were made to sit at a distance from the upper caste leaders, upper caste members. So they were not allowed to sit together. They were not, the members of the lower caste were not allowed to sit together with the members of the upper caste. So this caste distinction was there also. So he left Congress, and then he started his fight for the dignity of the untouchables. And this is what is required: dignity. Dignity. What is the meaning of dignity? Every human being has some dignity. When we have taken birth as a human being, we must have some rights. And if we are forced to live our life without these rights, then we are not leading a dignified life. We are not leading a life of a human being. So this is what required, that every human being must have some rights, and they must live their life with dignity. And for that purpose only he started this self-respect movement. People belonging to lower caste were not given any kind of they were not given any kind of respect in the society. They were humiliated, they were disrespected. So what is the first requirement? The first requirement was to make aware of the people belonging to lower caste that they are being disrespected by the upper caste people. So there should not be any kind of distinction, any kind of differences between people on the basis of caste. First of all, this idea was to be generated, and for that purpose he started self-respect movement. सबसे पहले आपको अपने आप को respect देना होगा. When you give respect to yourself, then only the other people, the whole world will give you respect. So ये self-respect movement हुआ कि the people who are belonging to lower caste, they also have self-respect, and that self-respect should not be violated. And they must be given a life of dignity by the society. So he felt that all religious authorities saw social division and equality as God given. In society it is assumed that whatever division, whatever distinction is there, that is decided by the God. No, it's not like that. God has not made any difference between the people. The difference is created by the society. So though as it is created by the society, so it should be ended, because it is not created by the God. अगर भगवान ने इसको बनाया होता है इन differences को, तो हम उसको नहीं change कर पाते. But these are not made by God. These are made by the society. So there is need of correction. The society must be reformed. So he was very much Periyar. He was very much he highly criticized this Hindu scripture, like quotes of Manu Smriti, in which we find there are rules about the society, how the society should be governed. These rules are given by Manu, which is called Manu Smriti, Code of Manu. He was highly critical of these Manu Smriti, because in this we find that all the laws are made in such a way that they protect the interest of the upper caste communities, upper caste people, and they are against the lower caste people. Not only this, he was also critical of Bhagavad Gita and Ramayana, because he was of the opinion that these texts had been actually used to establish the dominance of Brahmins over the lower caste people. So not only this, these scriptures were also used to establish the domination of men over women. So this was the these are the opinions of Periyars, and we see that there were people, there were organizations who started challenging these statements, these assertions of Periyar. We find that so many people started writing speeches, they started giving their views against what was given by leaders like Periyar and V.R. Ambedkar. So we find that there was Orthodox Hindu society which reacted against all these happenings by founding Sanatan Dharma Sabha. Orthodox, you know the meaning of Orthodox. Orthodox are those people who are who do not want that there should be any change in the society. The society should remain like that only. जैसा चला आ रहा है वैसा ही चलना चाहिए. Conservative, as I told you earlier also. Conservative, Orthodox, both are synonyms. Okay, so the Orthodox Hindu society founded this Sanatan Dharma Sabha. And Bharat Dharma Mahamandal was also founded in the north. Then in Bengal, Brahman Sabha was founded. So all these organizations like the Sanatan Dharma Sabha, then Bharat Mandal, this Bharat Dharma Mahamandal. Bharat Dharma Mahamandal. And the next one is that Brahman Sabha. All these organizations, Sanatan Dharma Sabha, Bharat Dharma Mahamandal, Brahman Sabha, these all were created by Orthodox Hindus. These were against the movements which was started by the lower caste people and the leaders. These were against the views of the leaders like Periyar and Ambedkar. The main objective of these association was to support caste distinction. They were in support of the caste distinction. There should be, these organizations were of the opinion that there should be caste discrimination in the society, because it is the cornerstone of Hinduism. It is a part of our religion according to these organizations. As we have seen the lower caste leaders, they were saying that it is not created by the God, it is created by the society. But these people, these organizations are asserting that these caste distinction is a part of Hinduism. And this caste distinction has sanction of the scriptures also. So it should remain, it should be there in the society, it should not change. So now what we find that still today still today we find that there is debate, there is struggle over this caste distinction and struggle, है ना. So it is still going on. आज भी हम देखते हैं हमारी सोसाइटी में ये प्रॉब्लम्स, these problems are still existing, different views are still existing, debates हो रहे हैं, discussions हो रहे हैं. ऐसे बहुत सारे incidents होते हैं जहाँ पर upper caste lower caste को dominate करता है. ऐसे बहुत सारे incidents होते हैं जहाँ lower caste आवाज़ उठाते हैं, लड़ाई करते हैं, वायलेंस भी होता है, कोर्ट केसेस होते हैं, बहुत सारी चीज़ें हो रही हैं. तो ये डिबेट अभी भी ख़त्म नहीं हुआ है. ओके, so this is all for today, and in the next class we will be discussing some extra questions from this chapter.